She's sitting there motionless in the chair with both arms in the air and both legs sticking out, like someone has tied a rope to all four appendages and is pulling them tight. I asked my guide, "What are we looking at?" And he said, "Her left leg is tied to her father. Her right leg is tied to her mother. The left arm is tied to," he used a word that was an association. I don't know what the word was, but what the word meant was someone like an aunt, someone who would have been maybe her mother's age, but parallel to her mother, but not her mother. And her right arm is tied to her aspirations, the things that she feels never got accomplished in her life. Journeys like this are often metaphorical. Sometimes they're actual physical information, and there will be later on in the story. But often they are connected to things that show me a physical representation of something spiritual. Usually when we run into these types of ties, so she was connected to all of those four things that came up. Usually when we see ties like that, they have to be severed. There's something that is literally holding her back. They were holding her back in a way that, remember, she's not even reacting. That's important. The look on her face was, she was connected to all of these things, but she wasn't involved in them. She wasn't participating in them. They were connections that were holding her in the chair. Usually at this point in the conversation, when we're dealing with clients in soul retrieval like this, there's an exchange that goes on between my guide and I and the client. The client will have some input on what we're seeing or some insight into what's going on or have something to say about the whole situation. This wasn't the case. This client wasn't speaking at all. So I asked my guide, "Do we cut the ties without having the conversation with her?" And he said, "Yes." Normally we cut ties like this, they're instantaneous. The cut happens all at one time, and all of the ties generally, to me, look like they sort of spring back, like when you cut something elastic with tension, they bounce back. He said we needed to cut them individually. These weren't small little strings. These were tree trunk size cords. They were huge. We severed each one individually, and as we cut them, they didn't spring back. They just fell and sort of laid there next to her. This hadn't happened before.